all work, you're going to hold it in your hand, or, all right, and how far will we?
I like the new bag.
New look. I think they
From Baghdad.
This wasn't by design, but I went on the down dive.
You need to get up.
Can't hear you.
We'll get it.
All right. Well, I'm Unknown Comic. Y'all just call me by my first name, Unknown will be fine. It's always good to come into the Rock Church of Franklin. I enjoy being here. And in case I forget at the end, before I leave, remind me to make an announcement. I've got a huge announcement to make about next year's show. But anyway, if there is a next year's show. But anyway, on the flight in from Vegas, I was a little bit nervous flying, you know. So I asked the flight attendant, I said, how often do planes crash? She replied, only once. But, you know, it don't bother me because I got the heart of a lion. Of course, I'm barred from the zoo. But, thank you for that one laugh. But speaking of the zoo, I know a guy that was out of work, and he really needed a job bad. And he saw advertisement the zoo was looking for somebody. So he went in there and he told the guy he'd like to apply for that job. And the head man at the zoo said, well, it's a little bit of an unusual job. He said, what's happened? Our gorilla has died. And the gorilla's the main draw to the zoo. If we don't have a gorilla, you know, we're not going to get people to come in. It's going to be a couple of months before I can get another gorilla. So what I'd like for you to do is dress up in this gorilla outfit and go out there in the gorilla cage and act like a gorilla when the kids come in. He didn't especially want to do that, but he said, well, okay, I need a job. So he got his gorilla suit on, he went out there in the cage, and he was jumping around like a gorilla, and the kids were just loving it. So that encouraged him a little bit, so he jumped up on the tire swing and got to swinging. He was really showing off, and the kids were just going crazy. They loved that. So he got to going too high, too far up and all, and he slipped. His hand slipped off the rope, and he landed in the lion cage. He said, uh-oh, here comes this lion. He said, oh, lion, please don't eat me. Lion said, man, you better be quiet. You're going to get both of us fired. Well, last week the police came to my house, and they told me that my dogs were chasing people on bikes. I said, well, it wasn't my dogs, because my dogs don't have bikes. Well, anyway, I like to consider myself a bit of an athlete. So the other day I won this game, and I decided to do like the guys on TV and celebrate, so I threw the ball into the crowd. Apparently that's unacceptable at a bowling alley. Well, I may use some puns tonight, but I can't stand insect puns. They just bug the heck out of me. Well, this patient went into the doctor, and he was just sobbing, crying, you know, and he said, doctor, I feel like a pair of curtains. And the doctor said, well, pull yourself together, man. Another man goes to the doctor and said, doctor, I got a strawberry growing out of my chest. What do I do? The doctor said, well, let me give you some cream to go on it. You'll wake up tomorrow morning and start laughing when you hug. This other patient went to the doctor and he said, doctor, I'm getting really claustrophobic in elevators. The doctor said, well, how do you take steps to avoid it? You know what you call someone who has trouble staying on their diet and keep abandoning their diet plans? A deserter. Well, do you know how I found out I'm kind of a reckless driver? Last week I was driving, and all of a sudden Siri said, pull over in 200 feet and let me out. And speaking of Siri, the other day I said, Siri, how do you delete emails? And she said, ask Hillary. Well, my grandfather told me that he saw the Titanic, and right from the start he warned people that that ship would sink. But nobody listened to him. But he was a brave man. He wouldn't give up. He kept warning them. And finally, they threw him out of the theater. But when he was 65, my grandfather decided he would walk a mile every day. Well, now he's 85, and we don't have any idea where he's at. Do you know the dumbest animal in the jungle? A polar bear. I'll explain that later. You know what you get if you cross a bear and a skunk? Winnie the Pooh. Now, I understand that they're building a restaurant on Mars, and they say the food's going to be great, but they're a little bit worried about a lack of atmosphere. Can you imagine how deep the ocean would be if it weren't for sponges? Yeah. Well, you know how when you eat something too late at night, or you stay out too late or something like that, and somebody says, well, you'll regret that in the morning? Well, I just sleep to noon, because I'm a problem solver. But I replaced my litter box with a FedEx box. Now when it's full, I just tape it up, shut it up good, sit it on the front porch and wait for somebody to steal it. Well, you can imagine in my line of work, you need to save money all you can. So when I find some of that cologne in the magazines, I'll take it and rub it on my shirt. Then that way when I go out, somebody will say, well, you smell good. What is that? I say, page 14. Well, tonight I'm having soup that was made from a Himalayan possum, because I found Himalayan on the road. Well, I once heard that 80% of accidents happen at home, so I moved. But I'm really pretty smart. I put a puzzle together in 3 days, and it sat on the box 3 to 4 years. But I had a friend that was so dumb, she missed bus 44, so she caught bus 22 twice. Well, I was in the Habitat Restore, and I saw a radio that was only $1. It said that the volume was stuck on full, and I thought, well, I can't turn that down. Well, I had this friend, and he asked his girlfriend to go to the gym with him, and then he stood her up 3 times. I hope she realizes they're not going to work out. I had a neighbor come to the door the other day and say he was taking up donations for the new community swimming pool, so I gave him a bucket of water. Well, the last little joke, I want a little story. Y'all heard this one before, but this is one that's worth bringing out again. Yeah. It was this tribe of Indians, and the chief had died. Well, his son had been more of a party animal, that type of stuff. He hadn't really paid attention when his father tried to teach him the ways of the Indian and how to predict the weather and what the Indians would need to do to prepare for the winter and that type of thing. So the Indians came to him that first winter as it was approaching and said, what do we do? He said, chop wood. He said, well, I better go call the National Weather Service and find out what's happening. I guess he could have called Aaron. But anyway, he called the National Weather Service. He said, what kind of winter do y'all expect we'll have? They said, we think we're going to have a cold winter. He said, okay. So he went back and told the Indians, keep chopping wood. We got to wondering about it again and wanted to make sure he was right, you know, his first winter. So he called the National Weather Service again. Said, you guys sure we're going to have a cold winter? They said, sir, we think we'll have a very cold winter. He said, okay. So he went back and told the Indians, keep chopping wood. So then he thought about it again. He said, I got to get this right. So he called the National Weather Service for the 3rd time. He said, you guys sure we're going to have a severely cold winter? They said, sir, we absolutely believe we will have the coldest winter on record. He said, well, how in the world can y'all know that? He said, well, the Indians are chopping wood like you wouldn't believe. Well, one thing I wanted to tell y'all as we're going into the new year tonight, as it approaches midnight, if you will, everybody raise your left leg up. If you do that, you'll be sure to start the new year on the right foot. And that's all I got, except I do want to make a big announcement. You know, I'm actually what you might call the Suffolk unknown comic, because that's where I grew up. And we're working on a contract, and hopefully if we come back next year, we're going to have the Virginia Beach unknown comic is going to join me. So that'll be exciting. So thank y'all very much. Have a great day.